So I want to talk about anger. Anger that came through in a wave today, and not triggered by anything specific, completely alone. It's completely alone. I certainly won't reject the notion that there could be thought attached. There is absolutely ego attached. When there is anger, there's typically pretty much always ego there, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. That's not a thing to judge. That doesn't mean we feel guilty. Ego feels guilty for existing. That's kind of the core of it. It feels not worth it. It feels incomplete. It feels unworthy. It feels like there's something wrong with it. None of that is true. Ego is every bit as divine as the rest of the self. It is ultimately still the substance of God. Everything is. Everything is made from the same divine self. There is nothing that can be that is not as it should be, that is not holy and sacred and absolutely worthy of existing, and furthermore existing as it is, not changing. So I believe it's important to witness anger, to look at it, to allow it to be felt, to allow it to be experienced. That is certainly not something that I have done for most of my life. Most of my life was spent judging anger in myself and in others, not accepting it, not allowing it. And I'll tell you what, all that did was breed resentment. All that did was keep the anger stuck. All it did was make more anger. That anger is just energy. Whatever you want to say about it, it's not worthwhile to judge it. It belongs. It's allowed to exist. It is worthy of being heard, of being witnessed, of being expressed. And when we acknowledge it and allow it an open, free expression, one that is conscious and deliberate, then it can be expressed in a healthy way. It can be released in a healthy way, a way that doesn't inflict harm upon anyone, including ourselves. So I felt it come through this morning. I feel that it's in the collective. I feel that the masculine energy is experiencing it in some form or another, and that's okay. That's allowed to be exactly as it is. I think anger has important things to tell us. I think there are things that we can learn from anger. Even if that thing is just, let this be. Let it be. Learn how not to judge it. Learn to accept it and embrace it. Learn the art of true, neutral witness, which has no reaction. But I think that anger can tell us other things as well. Certainly, first, it indicates the presence of ego. Again, just information, not a thing to judge, just to witness, just to be aware of. It can also tell us things about how it is we want to be treated. It can give us clarity on our desire. What is it that we want? How is it we want to be treated? How is it that we want to treat ourselves and others? Things like that. Other information we can glean from it. Is there something that ego is perceiving as a threat? Because there very often is. If ego is feeling a desire to puff up, to make itself bigger, then what is it reacting to? What is it puffing up against? What is it digging in? What position that it has created an identity around is it trying to maintain and fortify? Where is it that this perceived threat has come from? Again, Nothing to judge, nothing to do, all just stuff to witness. Just something to look at. But the most beautiful thing, valuable thing that I personally, in my experience of witnessing anger, have discovered about it is that it so often seems to indicate that I'm making something serious. I'm making something serious. I am making something a big deal. Taking something seriously. And that is such beneficial information because now I get to decide, do I want to be serious? Do I want to make this serious? Nothing is, actually. There is nothing serious happening here. Now I have an opportunity to remember that, to bring that awareness into play, to take a deep breath and smile and realize I can make this serious, and that's okay. I'm allowed to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And now if I decide to make it serious, then I make it serious on purpose. Then I'm doing that intentionally. Then I know that that's my choice, and I own that. But I would say pretty much every time, more often than not, at least, I have that realization and then find my energy shifting, find my emotions shifting into a state of playfulness, into that place of realizing again, there's nothing going on here. You got me. You got me. Ego, illusion, you got me. You got me to take something seriously. Nice one. You pulled one over on me, man. Now I get to choose to just play. Now I get to choose not to be mad about it, but laugh and say, good one. That was a good one. Man. Then I look back at nature and see how there is no effort happening. There's no struggle. There's nothing angry about nature. Everything is happy. Everything is easy. Everything is laughing and smiling and playful. Everything in nature is constantly playing. And I can hear nature laughing too. Now that I'm in on the joke, I can hear it laughing. Laughing at my seriousness and laughing in delight that I've realized it and that I've chosen again to step back into that knowledge, that awareness of my absolute worthiness, my absolute belovedness, the provision for everything in my well-being, everything that I desire, the well-being of all, and the truth that we're just here to have fun. We are just here to play. Everything is playing. We can just be playful with it all of the time. Heard a great line the other day. We don't have to be serious to be sincere. In fact, I don't think we have to be serious ever. I think seriousness is rigidity, and these are both always demonstrations, information that ego has stepped to the forefront. Not a problem. Something to realize, something to be aware of, recognizing. If we feel that anger, if we feel that despair, that grief, whatever it is, we've made something serious. And then we get to choose. And then we get to give ourselves permission. If I want to make that serious, then I permit myself to. And I'm going to give myself permission to enjoy that, actually. And it's a new kind of play. Now I'm experimenting with seriousness. Now I'm experimenting with drama. And I'm sort of leaning into it in a way that is less serious by giving myself that conscious permission to do so. Saying, I will take pleasure from this experience of pain, from this enacting of the drama, because I'm doing it in awareness. Or maybe I don't feel like it, and I just drop it all together, and I go back to having a grand old time, dancing, singing with myself, chatting with the trees, the birds, the insects, giving myself permission to move the body, to be as silly and free and fun as I want to be. because that's what it's about. And that's what I get to do at any given moment, should I so choose. And whatever I choose, it's all right. It doesn't matter. It is quite perfectly all right either way. And that itself is freeing, is relaxing. I can take a deep breath in that space and just smile and be there with whatever is. So yeah, love anger, love despair, love grief, love whatever it is that arises. Allow it, on purpose, deliberately. Be there with it. What can it demonstrate to you? It's nothing that matters. It's nothing that has to change. There's information there. There's information that helps you understand how your energy is flowing, where you are directing it versus where it's already gone. Again, all of that just information. You don't have to do anything. You can't get it wrong. It just helps you to make a conscious decision, like any information does. Now you can make an informed choice. And an informed choice feels good. It does. It feels good to flow on purpose, deliberately, consciously. Then you're in power. Whatever you're choosing to do, it's your choice. You can feel good about that. You can feel good about not feeling so good. You have that power. You have the power to drop it all together. Just go back to being free. Either way, you can't get it wrong. Invite anger, invite emotion, whatever it is that is there. Let it be felt. Let it speak to you. Let it serve you all of it can and wants to. That's all I got. Have a fun day.